Hello and welcome to my country garden. We're in the middle of June and it is chucking it down with rain, and it's going to be doing that all day. But I'm hiding out in the chicken run, keeping away from the weather, and there's actually some seed sowing that I want to get done, and I can get that done in here quite easily. So let me take you through the 7 seeds that I'm going to get started today, and I'll explain to you how I'm going to go about that. Okay, seed number 1 is a dwarf French bean called Dior, and I've got a number of dwarf French beans already sown in pots outside. I have not been so lucky with my climbing beans. I planted cobra climbing beans in deep cell trays in the polytunnel, and only 2 of them germinated, and I just haven't got around to sowing any more, so I'm not going to have any climbing beans. Well, actually, I have another climbing bean that's on the go, and it's Polish Independence beans, and I'll show you what they look like. Not having much luck. They're really not growing very well at all, and they're in a pot with a little TP above. But I'll leave them and see if they get there in the end. So yeah, climbing beans are off the agenda this year, but dwarf French beans I absolutely love. They're so easy to do, so easy to plant, so versatile, and you get good crops from them. So I'm okay with not having the climbing beans this year. These particular beans I'm going to sow direct. I'm not a fan of sowing things direct, even in the summer, because of the opportunities for slugs and snails to munch on things. But I've got a bed now that I've got squash in, and I've got another bed that I've got sweet corn and squash and a few French beans in already. So I'm probably going to distribute these among those 2 beds. I'm just going to put all of these in. It's just a small packet of seeds, and I'll put some near to the sweet corn, and hopefully the sweet corn will support these. They don't need much support. I think they get to about 40 centimetres. So yes, they will be going in alongside the squash and the sweet corn. Next on my list is turnip, and this turnip is called Falco F1. I don't have any turnips on the go at all. Just managed to pass me by. So I'm going to put these into cell trays, or a cell tray, and see if we can get some of these growing, and then I'll transplant them out once we've got some seedlings. So that is Falco F1. I usually do something like Purple Top Milan, but maybe I did start them and they didn't do anything. But yeah, I've not got any turnip on the go at the moment, and I do miss having some little turnips. I do have some swede on the go. It's hanging on in there, the odd bite from slugs, but I think it's okay. So hopefully, I think I've got about 8 of them, so I hope we'll get some swede later on in the year. But some turnip will be nice as well. Next on the list is something else I don't have any on the go at the moment, and that's beetroot. This is Chioia beetroot, and this is the one that's got the, let's see if I can, not pour them everywhere. This is the one that has like the concentric circles, and it looks very, very nice, and it tastes great. I love this roasted along with other roast vegetables. So yeah, I'm going to get these again. I'm going to multi-sow these in cells, pop them in the polytunnel to get them started, and then once they're a little bit bigger, these will probably just get popped into wherever I have space, because the beds are getting quite full now. But these are great for slotting in places that you have a little bit of space, similar to the turnips actually. 4th on my list is something that I have already tried to sow this year and it came to nothing, and that is garlic chives. Sowed them earlier on in the year and it got 2 or 3 little straggly plants, and they just died off. So I'm going to put these into a pot, not a 7-inch pot, something a little bit bigger, and I'll grow them in that pot, and I'll probably just harvest them from that pot as well, unless I get a spectacular germination, in which case I will transplant some of them out into other places. For example, I've got the the veg trug down at the house that was full of lettuce. It's not quite as full now, and there's going to be space in there for some other things, so I might put some of the chives there. Fifth on my list is a spring onion, and it's ramrod. Now, anyone that follows me knows that I don't really like spring onions that much. However, I have these seeds. These seeds came through to me as part of the monthly subscription to Steve at the Digwell Green Fingers channel, and he sends out different seeds, a nice manageable amount of seeds every month. And he sent me these, and whilst I definitely don't like spring onions in salad, I don't mind cooking with them and putting them in stir fries and things like that. So I'm going to try some ramrod spring onions, and these I am going to put into my little mini greenhouse where I have sweet peppers at the moment, and there's space between the sweet peppers, and I'm going to put a couple of rows of spring onions in there. Sixth is more successional sowings of lettuce. Now, I've got lots of lettuce on the go, and I've already got tons of lettuce that is just about full sized, and I'm eating it, and the chickens are eating it, and the quail are eating it, but there can never be too many lettuces in this garden. So I have got little quarter cell trays. I've got 4 of them with lettuce seedlings that I'm going to have to prick out into cell trays to grow them on. But so once I have one of those cell trays empty, or 2 of those cell trays empty, I'm going to pop in some more lettuce, and this time we're going to be popping in iceberg 4, so a nice iceberg lettuce that has a red tinge to it, and one that I already have growing, and I'll show you what it looks like. I've got some actually in a hanging basket. This lettuce is called Elf Ears Oak, and it's quite a jaggy edged lettuce, and it's lovely, and it looks nice as well as tastes nice in your salads. So lettuce, 2 varieties. I've got tons of other varieties, and I'll sort of keep going through this as much through the year as I can. Finally, I am going to get some more peas in. Now, these are a main crop variety, which means they are fine for sowing at this time of year, and it's called Hurst Greenshaft. And I'm going to pop these again. They could be sown direct, but I don't quite have space for them at the moment, and I'd much rather get them started and then transplant them out. So I'm going to put these in. I think probably what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put them into 7cm pots. So I'll probably put 3 seeds to a pot, and I'll fill a tray with those, and that will be the next succession of peas that will go out later on in the summer. So there you have it, 7 seeds that I'm going to be getting started today. I'd love to know what you're getting started, because there's tons of things you can get started at the moment. These are just the things that I am starting. So please tell me in the comments below what you're getting started just now, and how you're getting on with the rest of your sowings. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Bye bye for now.